Hello everyone. Imagine you and #39 alone in the middle of a wild, deep forest. Towering trees with dense foliage obscure the sky. The sun is setting, the air is cold and damp. The wind whistles through the leaves, insects chirp incessantly, and somewhere in the darkness, the heavy footsteps of a wild boar move about searching for food. In moments like these, humans feel smaller than ever. No electricity, no phone signal, no help. The only thing that determines whether you can survive the night is a safe shelter. Today we and #39 explore a crucial and practical survival skill. Building a secret shelter inside a fallen tree trunk to avoid wild boars and protect yourself in the dangerous jungle environment. Wild boars are one of the most dangerous wild animals humans can encounter in the forest. They are large, strong, have sharp tusks, and especially possess an extremely keen sense of smell. Wild boars are usually most active at night, and when threatened, they are ready to attack without hesitation. Facing a wild boar directly without shelter is almost synonymous with putting oneself in an extremely dangerous situation. Therefore, finding a discreet, secure, and hard-to-detect shelter is crucial for survival. Among the countless options in the forest, a seemingly inanimate fallen tree trunk becomes an unexpectedly clever survival solution. In the deep forest, large tree trunks broken by storms, old age, or landslides are very common. Many of these trunks have naturally rotten cores, creating empty spaces inside. This is a gift that nature unintentionally leaves for humankind. A fallen tree trunk lying close to the ground, with a shape completely familiar to wild animals, makes the wild boar almost completely unaware of the presence of humans inside. Furthermore, natural wood has excellent thermal and sound insulation properties. At night in the forest, temperatures can drop sharply, but the tree trunk helps keep the body warm, shields against wind and rain. Sound from inside is also minimized, reducing the risk of detection. However, not every tree trunk can be used as a shelter. Choosing the right trunk is the first and most important step. The trunk must be large enough, sturdy, and not completely rotten. It needs to be carefully inspected to avoid snakes, bees, fire ants, or other dangerous insects residing inside. The trunk should be located in a dry area, avoiding low-lying areas prone to flooding, and away from trails frequently used by wild boars. After selecting a suitable trunk, the next step is to create a secret entrance. The entrance should only be wide enough for one person to crawl through, the smaller the better. A narrow entrance not only helps retain heat, but also prevents wild boars from approaching or attacking directly. The entrance to the tree trunk needs to be carefully camouflaged with dry leaves, moss, bark, or broken branches, so that from a distance, the trunk retains its natural appearance. Inside, although the space is cramped, with proper arrangement, it can still become a safe and fairly comfortable shelter. The floor should be lined with dry leaves, dry grass, or bark to insulate against moisture and retain warmth. The thicker the lining, the less heat the body loses on cold nights. Neat arrangement also helps reduce noise when moving, avoiding attracting attention from the outside. A crucial factor when sheltering in a tree trunk is ventilation and odor control. Small, discreet ventilation openings should be created, directed upwards or towards the back of the trunk to avoid detection. Absolutely no cooking should be done in the shelter, and strong-smelling food should be avoided, as strong odors are the quickest way to attract wild boars. If in the dark of night, you hear the sound of wild boars passing by, heavy footsteps snorting, the digging of rocks and soil, the most important thing to do is to remain absolutely silent. Do not turn on lights, do not move suddenly, and do not make any noise. Wild boars are large and less agile in confined spaces, so they cannot fit inside a tree trunk if the entrance is properly designed. After a while, if they cannot identify their target, they will leave. Besides self-defense, shelter in a fallen tree trunk also provides a sense of mental security. In the deep, dark forest, simply having a sufficiently enclosed space to lie still allows a person to calm down, conserve energy, and wait until dawn. However, remember that this is only a temporary survival solution. You should not stay in a tree trunk for too long. During the day, when the light returns, the person sheltering should leave to observe their surroundings, find water and food, and check the safety of the shelter. Always be vigilant for the risk of collapse, insects, or other animals invading. In short, building a secret shelter inside a fallen tree trunk is an invaluable survival skill when facing the deep forest and the danger from wild boars. It demonstrates humanity and #39's ability to observe, adapt, and utilize nature. By respecting the forest and understanding its laws, humans can completely transform seemingly dangerous things into a safe fortress for themselves. In the darkness, amidst the sounds of lurking animals, an ordinary fallen tree trunk can become the boundary between life and death. And survival skills not only help us survive, but also teach us humility before wild nature.